leading off the show with Eric Gruber, the head coach of Chaney Baseball, coming on for a little midweek kind of recap. Coach, I guess the first question that we have to ask all our baseball coaches at this point is, how's it been like handling this weather? I mean, this is an unprecedented April. Haven't been able to get a lot of games in. How are the boys kind of handling, not knowing whether or not you're going to get a game in any given day and looking outside what seems like every day and seeing rain or, God forbid, snow in the middle of April?
I tell you what, that's Northeast Ohio for you. It doesn't get any better than this. We to be honest, we've gotten in 3 games to this point in our 4-week season, and it's been trying for our guys. I'm not going to lie. They've been tested pretty much throughout this entire season, anticipating a game and then finding out it's gotten canceled, especially with the young group. They're just hungry to play. And they just want to play. And I think that's kind of been one of our Achilles tendons this year, is just our inability to play. So we don't have that consistency of being out there in the field and just simply playing the game itself, especially for the young group of guys that we have. Because, again, just being out there as much as we can is really important for them just to simply learn a game. But they're handling it well. We try to make our practices whenever they get canceled meaningful, but yet enjoyable, to try to keep their morales up. They've handled it professionally. I will give them credit for that. Our seniors have really made sure that these younger guys stay focused, even though we aren't playing in these games. We have a doubleheader today, and that rain better hold off so we can get it in. That's all I got to say, because our boys want to play. They just need to be out there and playing. But, it's the hand we're dealt, and there's nothing we can do about it. But we just try to make the most out of when we're not on the field, to just simply continue to learn and practice and just get ready for when we are on that field. So it's been trying, but every coach I've talked to, they're in the same boat we are.
I think you're a good voice for this kind of this pool of coaches, Coach, because there's a lot of coaches dealing with this, not getting a whole lot of games in just because of the adverse weather that we've had. But in saying that, let's talk about the few games that you have gotten in and the practices that you have been able to get in. Who are some of the boys on the team that you think deserve some recognition, whether they're leading things in a practice or they're showing up on the field, or leadership wise or skill wise? Who do you think deserves some recognition for this team mid-season?
Our senior class, definitely. Noah Cohan, especially when we played in our first game, he pitched 5 strong innings. We wound up playing the 5 game against Latonia and wound up having to call the game after 5 due to darkness, but he pitched great in that game. He gave up just 2 hits, 5 Ks, had just 1 walk in that game. So he has really, grown a lot during his 4 years. Bobby Johnson, who's a freshman, has really taken on the catcher's role really well. And Braden Polk, who is another guy that we were working with as catcher, who's a freshman. These last couple of games really kind of stepped up and really showed a lot of improvement catching-wise. Caden Brown's another one of our pitchers who has, as limited as it has really made the most of it when he's out there on the mound. Jeremy Leeson, who's a senior of ours, who is also our first baseman. Again, we've only gotten the 3 games in, but he doesn't seem to lose track when he's out there on the field. And even in practice, our 3 seniors who are our captains have really worked to maintain a focused level within the practice structure. And that's helped out a lot, especially for our young guys, because they see the adversities. And this kind of reminds us of 2 years ago when we got shut down. We had a great off season, and we were just simply dealt the hand we were, but everybody kind of handled it in a professional manner, as bad as it was. And these 3, especially having gone through that, understand that things can be taken away as it can be given, and just really are trying to embrace every moment they have, and are just really showing these younger guys how to take care of business. So hopefully when we get out there on the field this week, we can just continue to play ball and just really start to grow, and just simply apply what we've been working on in the practices as well. But our upperclassmen done a great job, and just having gone through what they did a couple years ago, I think helped, because they saw how easily it can change, and they just try to make the most out of every opportunity. And that's the one message they really share to the guys. Take advantage of what you have, because it can be easily taken away at any moment.
Coach, with all this adversity that they've had to go through, I'm sure you've tried to keep things light in practice, tried to have some fun times. What have been some of your favorite kind of things to see these guys cut loose and have fun? Some memories with this team so far this year.
We've done like wiffle ball games. They've done some pickup games playing basketball. But I think what it comes down to is some of those things have really become a bonding moment for them. Because for a lot of these guys, they're new to each other. Some of them, they're friends, but then we have a lot of guys on the teammates that really on the team that really just don't know each other. So I think through some of these little pickup activities that we've done, it's really become a good bonding moment for them. And they've really developed and grown into a team amongst themselves, kind of like this brotherhood that we like to preach. Because I shared with them when I used to play ball myself, it was a brotherhood. And that's the one thing I will say that if anything, these practices have done is really kind of gel them together and just create this little brotherhood amongst themselves to where now they're starting to just simply learn more of each other, learn more about each other, and just really developing a relationship amongst themselves. And it shows throughout each and every practice. They're kind of picking each other up, kind of picking up on the tendencies of what they're doing, what they may need to adjust themselves. So they're even, in a sense, becoming coaches themselves. So I would say, if anything, it's just really allowed us to build and develop a sense of chemistry off the field that will help us on the field.
We talked last time you were on, Coach, about just this program coming back, just like all the sports programs in Chaney history too. Do you feel any pressures, or is there any pressures that come with that role of being that first coach that kind of leads things back as the baseball program and trying to get this program back on its feet?
I think with anything, there's a lot of pressure with what you do. I understand that at this level, a lot of it's about W's and L's. And I also understand at this level, it's all about progress and what's a direct result of the non-progress itself. So yeah, I would lie if I would say that we don't feel pressure as coaches with what we do, but I will give credit to our school and our athletic director to where we understand that we are really at a growing point. We've kind of been dealt some cards that haven't been playable. So we're kind of at year one again. But, one of the things we do is we try to take the pressure off of the kids themselves. And we just through the practices that we run, through the things that we run, they see the growth. They recognize the growth. They know they're going to make mistakes, but we as coaches work to make corrections with those mistakes. And that's one of the things that we've been taking advantage of with these practices, is really just kind of working on that. But, us as coaches, we look every day. What can we do to better ourselves? What can we do to make sure these guys are in the right position to win and compete in each game? And we feel we're getting there. Even though we've only gotten in 3 games and, our record is what it is, we're 1-2. And the last 2 games that we played were pretty ugly, but we learned from it. And that was the one big key thing. We learned what we need to do and what we didn't do. And we just work on it in practices. And, the key is when we get it to our next game, do we see those corrections being made? So, we put a lot on ourselves to make sure our team is well equipped and well adversed in what we're doing. And we just go out there and just play to the best of our ability. And, as young as we are making strides. And I really feel within the next year or two, we're going to start to become competitive. And that's kind of mindset and mentality that we are working to develop within these young group of kids is, losing's not an option anymore. We are here to win and we are here to play the game. And that's the mindset that these guys do have. So they're embracing it and they love it. That's why it's killing them not to be out there right now.
Coach, outside of a couple of teams that have really good facilities that are able to handle the weather, everyone's kind of in the same boat. They're waiting for games to be played. They're sitting there with 3, 4, 5 games in right now. What do you guys think that you are doing to give yourselves an edge going into postseason, going into the last stretch of the season, since everyone is in the same boat and it's gonna come down to who handles this situation better, I guess, when you get into postseason. What do you think you guys are doing to give yourselves that little bit of a competitive edge towards the end of the season?
I think the hunger the guys have might be our edge, because they felt what it tasted like to win, and they've also tasted what it felt like to lose. And I think just them wanting to be out there each and every day and knowing that they can't, but knowing that we've got 2.5, 3 weeks left before the tournament begins, they're going to take advantage of each and every moment they're out there. So I would say, if anything, it's just that their hunger of wanting to be out there and wanting to get those W's and knowing how it felt when we had that W under our belt is probably one of the biggest advantages, and I'm sure that goes with a lot of the other teams as well. But with this young group, we work on what we need to work on. We've been limited. We haven't had any outdoor practices because it's just been too wet for us to be able to practice outdoors. But I think the hunger for the game, the hunger for the W, the hunger just to play, and just them simply now appreciating each and every moment they're out there and competing at their highest level. So I would say that's probably one of our biggest advantages. And with us only having a couple of weeks, we kind of look at it. This is the final stretch. They understand that, and they're going to take advantage of each opportunity that they're out there.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us, I would want to say a midseason review, but,
almost like a week 1 review.
But we definitely wish you the best of luck. We hope you get your doubleheader in tonight. We hope, the rest of the week looks pretty good. So maybe you'll get some games in this week, and we wish you the best of luck this season. Thank you so much.
We do. Mother Nature needs to hold off until about 7 o'clock. That's it. Then she can go ahead and rain for about 2 hours, but That's it.
We're hoping for you, Coach. Good luck.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.